Sonic the Hedgehog 4 is officially happening and is set to hit theaters in 2027. Fans are hyped, especially with the possibility of Jim Carrey reprising his role as Eggman. Carrey himself has hinted in a recent interview that he's open to coming back. While he previously mentioned retiring from acting, he now says he'd consider returning to the role provided the script feels fun and engaging. This gives us a bit of hope after Sonic 3 seemed to quite definitively write Eggman out of the movies. It's hard to imagine how you come back from being blown up in space, but if it brought Carrey back, we can certainly expect it to happen. Even screenwriter Patrick Casey joked that Eggman is definitely dead unless he survives somehow. In other words, they are very much keeping their options open in case they're able to secure Carrey for yet another sequel. There's also the intriguing possibility of seeing alternative versions of Robotnik in Sonic 4. After all, Carrey played 2 versions of the character in Sonic 3, and viewers embraced it. So now, he could return as a new version of Eggman from an alternate timeline. This would make sense from a story perspective, with the post-credits scene teasing the appearance of Metal Sonic and Amy. It's pretty clear the franchise is moving forward, and we could be looking at an adaptation of both Sonic CD and Sonic Heroes. Let's not forget how the last movie broke away from the usual Earth-centric narrative and gave us a third act in space. Space has always been integral to the franchise's DNA, with alien characters and iconic gold rings acting as portals to other worlds. So far, the movies have only teased the series' wider space lore, but writers Pat Casey and Josh Miller are well aware of the potential. In an interview with Collider, they explained that Sonic 3 couldn't fully explore space because the story needed to stay Earth-focused. However, they're eager to take us to other worlds, and Sonic 4 might finally be the project to deliver on that promise. If the 4th installment is aiming to surprise us, a story arc involving both the past and future feels like a natural fit. Time travel has been a recurring theme in Sonic lore, and it would give Paramount a chance to showcase iconic locations and characters while also building the perfect setup for Carrey's return. For instance, in Sonic Heroes, we saw Eggman revealed to be Neo-Metal Sonic in disguise, a twist that could easily form the backbone of the next movie. Imagine a storyline where a machine rebels against its creator, leading to Neo-Metal Sonic transforming into the Metal Overlord, a massive dragon-like version of himself. This could set the stage for an epic final battle that would thrill all fans. In this concept, Jim Carrey might not have a huge role, perhaps just appearing as Eggman's clone in a few scenes, but the main focus should be on expanding the roster with new characters. We already know Amy and Metal Sonic are in the mix, both of whom made their debuts in Sonic CD. In the game storyline, Sonic battles Dr. Robotnik's attempts to control the Time Stones, the mystical artifacts that give the user control over time. While time travel is a major element in CD, allowing players to explore both the past and future, Metal Sonic is a deadly weapon in Eggman's arsenal. The plot of the 4th movie could follow a similar structure, with Metal Sonic kidnapping Amy, setting up the classic hero rescue. However, this might be tweaked a bit, especially since Amy's introduction in the post-credits scene. Amy is one of the most important characters in the franchise, both as the main female protagonist and Sonic's love interest. But that means the 4th movie will have to avoid falling into the trap of her being just a damsel in distress, as she was in the original game. Sure, the idea of time travel being introduced is exciting, but it raises some concerns about how Amy's character will be handled. She has evolved a lot since Sonic CD. She's no longer just a character who needs saving. She's become a powerful and independent character, often portrayed with a short temper and wielding her massive hammer as a formidable weapon. She's not just protective of Sonic anymore. She's also become a skilled fighter in her own right. So portraying Amy as the helpless damsel again would feel like a major step backward for her character, especially considering she's the series' main female lead. Sonic 3's post-credit scene clearly proved she's not someone who needs rescuing anymore. She played a key role in fighting off the Metal Sonics when they nearly overwhelmed Sonic, showcasing her fighting skills. While Sonic is likely faster, it seems Amy could actually be a better fighter. The scene even suggests she has some backstory with the Metal Sonics, knowing exactly when and how to show up when they attacked. If the theory about time travel turns out to be true, this opens up some incredibly exciting possibilities. Amy could be from the future, specifically a post-apocalyptic reality ruled by Eggman and the Metal Sonics. The planet is a wasteland, ravaged by years of domination, and the hope for freedom is almost lost. In a desperate bid to stop Eggman's rise to power, Amy travels back in time, hoping to prevent the chain of events that would lead to this grim future. Her mission is to protect Sonic from a time-traveling threat, maybe an even more dangerous version of Eggman or a new villain who's manipulating the timeline to ensure Eggman's victory. Amy's knowledge of the future would give her a unique perspective on what must be done, but it would also make her a wild card, someone who might know too much for her own good. Another major theory is that Jim Carrey will, this time, play Eggman from the future, a far descendant of evil Robotnik. Like his ancestor, he's a villain with world-conquering ambitions. The theory suggests that he could be the creator and mastermind behind the Metal Army, sending them back through time to eliminate OG Sonic. If we're talking about a futuristic setting, we can't forget about Silver the Hedgehog and Blaze the Cat. Both of them have strong ties to time travel, and it's not hard to imagine them making an appearance in the next movie. Their roles could bring even more depth to the narrative, but introducing all of these characters could easily overload the movie. What seems more likely is the concept of teams. Sonic 3 already teased this idea with several nods to Team Sonic, so expanding on that in the fourth movie feels like a natural progression. Shadow's arc is still far from complete, and whether he gets his own spin-off series like Knuckles or remains a key player in the next film, it's clear his story has only just started. If the writers introduce Rouge the Bat, we could see the formation of Team Dark. Their contrasting personalities, Shadow's brooding, mysterious nature, and Rouge's sly, confident attitude, would create an intriguing tension, adding depth to their interactions. In the end, all three teams, Team Sonic, Team Dark, and potentially Team Rose, could unite to face off against the main villain, and the threat would need to be truly dangerous, given the wide roster of characters. As for what we know for sure, Sonic 4 seems like it's going to be about Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Shadow fighting against the Metal Army while trying to figure out who's controlling them. The Wowski will likely be involved somehow as well, and with Tom recovering from the events of Sonic 3, he might not be so eager to jump into the action again. His role could be smaller, or perhaps he'll play a supporting part as the others take the lead in this next chapter. Screenwriters Pat Casey and Josh Miller mentioned that they're ready to go beyond Sonic 4. They pointed out the massive lore in the Sonic games, suggesting that there's plenty of material for more sequels. Miller even teased the possibility of delving deeper into Sonic's origins, hinting that there are still untold stories about the Hedgehog's past waiting to be explored. Meanwhile, Sega has shown interest in continuing its collaboration with Paramount, especially since the movies are performing well at the box office and resonating with fans. Stay tuned.